What's up, people? I'm ThaFactor, and today we're going to play some Core Classic Domination. Um, so I decided to play some core stuff just because I understand there's a large part of the fan base, probably the majority of the fan base of Call of Duty, that they don't really prefer the hardcore modes. And a little later in this video, I'm going to talk to you about why I do prefer the hardcore mode, but not here, not now. Also, I wanted to play Classic just so we could get a little outlook on what this game would be like if we didn't have the exoskeletons that basically flew around the map. You know, if we all weren't Superman. Uh, you know what, while we're actually on the subject, let's go ahead and let's get this out of the way. Let's talk about the game modes. Let's talk about core versus hardcore and why I play hardcore so much. So obviously we all complain about hit markers. Hit markers is a problem that everybody has because nobody wants to shoot somebody and then walk through the bullet and stab you or something like that, right? And it gets annoying. But really, one-person kills, not my biggest issue. My biggest issue is multi-kills. You know, you run into 3 people face to face. The chances of you coming out ahead in that in core, all 3 of them looking at you, mind you. You know, the second you see them, chances of you coming out ahead with 3 people spraying you down with bullets, not too great. Not great at all. Now, we take that look in another light, go to hardcore mode, you know, and you can pop people with 1 bullet apiece and they go down. As long as those guys don't have the greatest aim in the world, and you can fire off, you know, 6 rounds, hitting half of those rounds within a split, you know, 1 second, you're good to go. Move on to the next room, boo. You know, get your tags and go. This is probably the biggest thing about me for hardcore. That's why I love playing hardcore so much, is because I love getting major feeds. Just last night, I hit a 6 feed, you know, 6 uninterrupted kills on the kill feed with 1 clip of a submachine gun. And I want to say it was the what's it called, the KR5 or something in this game. 1 clip of that, you know, no reloads. 6 people, less than 5 seconds. You just cannot do that on core. Not with 1 clip. You may be able to get that, you know, that 6 feed in 5 seconds. That's definitely possible. You know, I'm not going to say maybe. That's definitely possible. Plausible, maybe not plausible, but possible. It's just going to be 1.5 million times easier on hardcore. Another thing that I really enjoy about hardcore is the fact that if you're playing a certain map, you don't have to use a certain weapon. Now, let me give you an example here. If you know, say I'm playing, I don't even remember what game this came out. Let's say we're going back to MW2, I believe, and we're playing some Wasteland. I mean, who's going to use a submachine gun across that map on hardcore? Nobody, because it's not going to kill anybody. You're going to hit them like 5 times in the head, get the little ding for the headshot noise, watch their head bobble around, and then they're going to, you know, probably snipe you because that's what they did on Wasteland. You know, counterintuitively, if you're playing hardcore, you pop them 1 time in the dome. I don't care how far away you are. You pop them 1 time in the dome with a pistol, they're going to go down. This is a big deal to me. You know, I really, I hate being forced to play a certain play style because the game doesn't allow me to play my own. So, again, you know, just trying to show a little comparative contrast to the hardcore mode, you know, as opposed to core mode. Again, you know, I know most of the community does play core, which is why I'm going to make it a point to make sure I've got enough core videos on here so everybody's getting their worth, right? So yeah, another thing about, you know, I won't really say this is another thing about hardcore. This is about game modes in general. UAVs are so important. I talked about this, I believe yesterday. I was talking about how mobility in this game has changed Call of Duty in general. It's made it to where you have to always be looking behind you. You always have to watch out for that person that's going to come up and stab you in the back, going to shoot you in the back of the head. You know, find a way around you to where you have no way of knowing they're behind you. UAVs. Not only the UAV, but the customizable upgrades, I guess you would call them. Let's see. I usually run with support. That's about the only thing I'll throw on it, just to make sure I've got UAVs going. I don't throw too much more on it because then it takes too many points. I'm not getting them as frequently. Yada yada. I got a couple people on my team though that will run UAVs with support as well as I can't think of the name of the upgrade actually. It's the upgrade that lets you see people through walls. It's basically a wall hack. This is beautiful. That is the most helpful thing I've ever seen in a UAV ever. Like, that may damn near be as useful as a Blackbird or an orbital VSAT, whatever. Point is, why is everybody in this game not using that? Why is everybody not turning that on for their team? Like, I'm to the point where I'm ready to turn it on. I'm getting enough kills now in a frequent enough pace that it's not going to bother me to have to get a couple extra kills or a couple, extra caps or tags or whatever it may be to throw up a decent UAV, a UAV that's not just, not just a UAV. So with that aside, the whole hardcore, core mode, and UAVs thing being talked about, let's talk about real quick the first patch. I think this is going to be a good topic here. What do you think is going to happen in the first patch? I mean, what's going to get patched itself? What's going to get nerfed? That's what I want to know. What guns are going to be made obsolete because of the community just crying about it? Let's talk real quick about nerfing in general. This is how I see nerfing. This is the light that I see it in. Not a very good one, mind you. So the community gets this video game, whether it be Destiny or Call of Duty or Titanfall or Homefront, Medal of Honor, Battlefield. I don't care what it is that you're playing. They all nerf guns, and there's one singular reason why. Because people bitch so much about a certain weapon or a certain perk, a certain attribute to the game, that the developers are like, well, yes, we did spend millions of dollars having alpha and beta tests done to this game, and then released a beta test on its own to an open beta test to the whole community to let everybody try it out. But since everybody's complaining so much, we have no choice but to alter what we know is stable, what we know is balanced, what we have tried and tested in the sense of this game, Advanced Warfare, for 5 years. Now, when this first patch comes out, and they inevitably they nerf at least a good 3 or 4 guns, I will put my head in my palm and just shake it, because it is so frustrating to think Infinity Ward would let Sledgehammer or any of the either of their other two game developers for this matter go through 5 years of trying and testing a certain format for something, and because some part of your community yell about it like kids, you're going to let that whole month, maybe a month before the first patch comes out, that month of the community playing the game tell you that what you did for the entirety of the last 5 years is wrong. Seriously? Rant over. I don't like nerfing guns, but rant over. So, again, going back to that, what do you guys think is going to get nerfed? What do you guys think needs to get nerfed? Because I'm sure, somebody, I've heard a lot of talk about the BAL. A lot of people are saying it shoots, too fast or too accurate or something. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I tend to tune people out when they say a gun needs nerfed. I'm like, no, it doesn't. That's just me. So yeah, what do you guys think actually needs nerf? If I were to say, which I'm not, but if I were to say that there was any gun that I thought was overpowered, I think the laser is about the only thing I feel I die from super quickly. Again, that being said, they tested that out so much. There's that UAV I love, that ping UAV. Gotta love that. Tried and tested. They checked this out forever. They saw that laser worked, or they wouldn't have kept it in this game. Right? Okay. That being said, I still think I die super damn fast from it. But that's probably just because it's a laser, and Call of Duty's never had lasers in it. I'm like, ooh, look at that, I died from it. It's a bad kid toy. But, yeah, again, just to clarify, I don't think that laser needs patched. I just think every once in a while, little sand gets in the vagina and people get angry. So what about some perks? What perks does everybody use right now? Personally, I've been running only 4 perks. I've been only running the, what would you call them? The stealth perks. I'm running low profile, cold-blooded, and blind eye. And then I run hardwired as well, because one of the worst things, again, going back to the whole I'm a hardcore player, when you are playing hardcore and you have that system hack in your face, bad day. Just bad day. People are small, you know, people are not, unless you have a 50-inch TV, I mean, which, granted, a lot of people do. I just don't tend to like play on bigger TVs. I kind of like a medium-sized TV. But yeah, unless you have a big TV, these people are not the biggest things in the world. Since Ghost came out, the HUDs just seem to get smaller and smaller and smaller, as well as the rest of the stuff in the game does. So that being said, you really don't want a bunch on your screen if you're playing hardcore mode, you know what I'm saying? So when the last thing you would ever want on your screen is this big old fuzzy, looks like some static white noise shit going over your face. You don't want that. So I use hardwired. I don't ever have to deal with the system hack, and that's nice as far as I'm concerned. Real quick, we're gonna switch gears here. Just before we end this video, I want to talk one last second about tubes. Sledgehammer, I've had a lot of questions to ask you so far. This is probably going to be the most prominent one. The most furious moments I have with Call of Duty are over this issue. Why did you not take out noob tubes? Why is it that they are still in the game? I don't know. I really don't. And it almost seems like like they've been powered up. I'm not 100% on this, but you know, take it as you have it. So, you know, there's another game for you. Played some, again, some core Classic Domination. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back again tomorrow. You know, like, subscribe, share, do your thing.